Have you ever wanted to write a song? Songs remind us of life events. They bring up feelings of sorrow, happiness, or nostalgia, and they can help us make new friends when we find a common ground that we did not realize that we had. Songs are fun to sing in the shower, or driving down the road, or when sitting around the campfire with family and friends. Hi, I'm Pastor John Sonkrat from Heights Christian Church, and what we are doing as a congregation is going through the Bible in 5 years. We invite you to join us wherever you are by subscribing to our YouTube channel. 6 days a week, we will read a small part of Scripture and take just one thing from that portion to help us be more like Jesus. And then on Sunday, our services will be online on this very channel, and our sermon will be over the material we read during the week. So in today's devotional, we get to read the words of the song that Moses wrote on the command of God. It is found in today's reading, starting in Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 30, and going through chapter 32, verse 44. So let's get started. Then Moses spoke in the hearing of all the assembly of Israel the words of the song until they were ended. Give ear, O heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. Let my teaching drop as the rain, and my speech distill as the dew, as raindrops on the tender herb, and as showers on the grass. For I proclaim the name of the Lord. Ascribe greatness to our God. He is the rock. His work is perfect, and all his ways are justice. A God of truth and without injustice. Righteous and upright is he. They have corrupted themselves. They are not his children. They're not his children because of their blemish, a perverse and crooked generation. Do you thus deal with the Lord, O foolish and unwise people? Is he not your father who bought you? Has he not made you and established you? Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask your father, and he will show you, your elders, and they will tell you. When the Most High divided their inheritance to the nations, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the boundaries of the peoples according to the number of their children of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the place of his inheritance. He found him in a desert land and in the wasteland, a howling wilderness. He encircled him. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of his eye. As the eagle stirs up its nest, hovers over its young, spreading out its wings, taking them up, carrying them on its wings, so the Lord alone led him, and there was no foreign god with him. He made him ride in the heights of the earth, that he might eat the produce of the fields. He made him draw honey from the rock, and oil from the flinty rock, curds from the cattle, and milk from the flock, with fat of lambs, and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the choicest wheat, and you drank wine, the blood of the grapes. But Jeshurun grew fat and kicked. You grew fat, you grew thick, you are obese. Then he forsook God who made him, and scornfully esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with foreign gods, with abominations. They provoked him to anger. They sacrificed to demons, not to God. To gods they did not know. To new gods, new arrivals that your fathers did not fear. Of the rock who begot you, you are unmindful, and have forgotten the God who fathered you. And when the Lord saw it, he spurned them because of the provocation of his sons and his daughters. And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end will be, for they are a perverse generation, children in whom is no faith. They have provoked me to jealousy by what is not God. They have moved me to anger by their foolish idols. But I will provoke them to jealousy by those who are not a nation. I will move them to anger by a foolish nation. For fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn to the lowest hell. It shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. I will heap disasters on them. I will spend my arrows on them. They will be wasted with hunger. devoured by pestilence and bitter destruction. I will also send against them the teeth of the beast, with the poison of serpents of the dust. The sword shall destroy outside, there shall be terror within, for the young man and the virgin, the nursing child with the man of gray hairs. I would have said, I will dash them in pieces. I will make the memory of them to cease from among men. Had I not feared the wrath of the enemy, lest their adversaries should misunderstand, lest they should say, our hand is high, it is not the Lord who has done this. For they are a nation void of counsel, nor is there any understanding in them. Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end. How could one chase 1,000, and 2 put 10,000 to flight, unless their rock had sowed them, and the Lord had surrendered them? For their rock is not like our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges. For their vine is the vine of Sodom, and of the fields of Gomorrah. Their grapes are grapes of gall. Their clusters are bitter. Their wine is the poison of serpents, and the cruel venom of cobras. Is it not laid up in store with me, sealed up among my treasures? Vengeance is mine and recompense. Their foot shall slip in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things to come hasten upon them. For the Lord will judge his people and have compassion on his servants when he sees that their power is gone, and there is no one remaining, bond or free. He will say, where are their gods, the rock in which they sought refuge, who ate the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offering? Let them rise to help you and be your refuge. Now see that I, even I, am he, and there is no God besides me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal, nor is there any who can deliver from my hand. For I raise my hand to heaven and say, as I live forever, if I whet my glittering sword and my hand takes hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies and repay those who hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, with the blood of the slain and the captives from the heads of the leaders of the enemy. Rejoice, O Gentiles, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants and render vengeance to his adversaries. He will provide atonement for his land and his people. So Moses came with Joshua the son of Nun and spoke all the words of this song in the hearing of the people. So does this song inspire joy or allude to happy feelings? Or does it serve as a reminder of how the people of Israel acted and God's response? It's obvious that it is a response from God to the evil of his people. In today's world, we may witness evil in it. And it may bring us to the point where we have great sadness. There are 2 areas in today's reading I want to stay focused on. Now, the first is in verses 3 and 4, so let's look at those real quick. Of chapter 32, for I proclaim the name of the Lord. Ascribe greatness to our God. He is the rock. His work is perfect, for all his ways are justice, and God, a God of truth and without injustice. Righteous and upright is he. See, God is upright. He's great. He's just. He's righteous. He's perfect. He is a God of truth. Keeping this in mind, let us look at the other section that I want to focus on, and that's in verse 35 and 36. Vengeance is mine and recompense. Their foot shall slip in due time. For the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things to come hasten upon them. For the Lord will judge his people and have compassion on his servants when he sees that their power is gone, and there is no one remaining, bond or free. When we see the evil in this world and we think that these people will get away with this, we need to understand that God is a just God, and he knows all that is going on. And in the end, he will judge righteously and punish appropriately. How often do you pray for those who are evil to come to know Christ? How many of you pray for those who persecute you? Sometimes it is difficult to do, but Christ expounds on this in Matthew. So let's take a look at Matthew chapter 5, verses 43 through 45. You have heard that it is said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you, that you may be sons of your Father in heaven. For he makes the sun rise on the evil and on the good, and he sends the rain on the just and the unjust. So praying for those who are evil and cause persecution of the innocents in this world is not done so that God will punish them, but it is done so that we may be the sons of our Father in heaven. And therefore we become more like Jesus. We know that evil will be punished, but we can pray that those who perpetrate it will come to know Jesus and change their ways before it is too late. So sing the song of Moses and remember the greatness of God. I hope you got something out of today's devotional, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.